Hi guys, this is a short video for a review of what we did today because I know that it can be difficult when we're first learning this. So here's a graph that we did in class. We took a look at period versus or length versus period for our pendulum, and we take a look at the best fit curve line. We hit apply curve and we see that our linear example gives us an R value of 0.966, which is not great. So what we need to do is we need to manipulate this by modifying the algebraic representation. Wow, what does that mean? That's page 5 of our reading. So I'm going to close out of that and I'm going to go over to the page 5 of my reading, and I'm going to see that the last one here is the kind of shape that we see in our graph, and it is represented by y squared equals mx plus b. So I'm going to go back over to my graph and I'm going to take a look at what my y is. My y is the period, okay? So I'm going to go and I'm going to hit the 3 dots next to my column and I'm going to add a calculated column. And this calculation here says a times x to the b, all right? And a in this example is, for more complicated graphs, we don't have to deal with that now. But basically, we're going to be concentrating on that x value. So here, x is not x as in x-axis, but it's x as in x in math class. What is this representing? And we see here that x is indeed the period. If I was looking for y to be, if I was looking for the x to be squared instead, like we did over here in our second graph, and we had x squared, so we changed it to length in that one because it was the x-axis. But here, this is our y-axis, so we're gonna go and make sure that we are changing the period to squared. So x is the period and it says to the b, and b is 2, so that means x squared. So we're going to calculate this up here and we're going to call this period squared. And our units now are going to be seconds squared because period's unit was seconds. I'm going to hit the done button and now I have a new line. I can see on my y-axis, it's now labeled as period squared, and my x-axis is length. I can always click on the actual label, and I could go back to period if I wanted, or I could show both of them like I just did there. That actually has both of them. I don't want both of them, though. I just want period square, so I'm going to uncheck period and go back. This looks much more like a straight line. Let's take a look. Hit apply curve fit. And now my linear representation is 0.997. That is much greater. Fantastic. So now, what am I going to do with this information? From this box, it gives me the y value, the slope value of 3.868, and my b value, which is a number times 10 to the negative 4th. So that's pretty small. And that tells me that my b value can be dropped. And that makes sense. We're looking at how the length of a string affects the time of a pendulum swing. If I have no length of string, I have no pendulum. So if I have no pendulum, I would have no time that the pendulum takes to swing. So that makes sense. I'm going to get rid of my b value here. So I'm going to go over and use these numbers to update this equation, which becomes my mathematical model. So first things first, y is now my period squared, okay, is going to be equal to my m value is from that box, 3.868. This is a number, so I need my unit. Units for slope is always rise over run, so that's s squared, which is my rise unit, over run, which is my x-axis unit. So that's 3.868 seconds squared over centimeters times my x variable. And my x variable here is still length. And that will give me my new mathematical model. So this would be what I would put as my mathematical model in underneath my graph for my homework assignment. Again, period and length are words, so they don't need units, but my slope is a number, so it does need a unit. All right, I hope this was helpful for you.